Good evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Thursday, August 17, 2023. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. President Ali announces major shakeup of permanent secretaries. Government moving ahead with gas strategy, says VP JAGDEO. Government looking to invest in inline water filter technology, says Rodrigues. 23.6 million agro-processing facility to boost agriculture sector in WATOOKA, and 294 million magistrates courts living quarters opened at Vigilance. Now for the news in detail. President Dr. Irfan Ali has made some changes to the permanent secretaries at various ministries, with 2 new faces to take up those senior positions. Vanu Manikchand has the details.
Alfred King, who currently serves as the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Education, is expected to be reassigned to the office of the Prime Minister. Chanel Hussein Autar will now be placed as the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education. She currently serves as permanent secretary at the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security. Prema Rupnarain will now take up the position as permanent secretary in the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security. She currently serves as the PS of the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development. Also on the list to be reassigned is Bishram Kupin, the current permanent secretary at the Ministry of Labor. He will be taking up the role as permanent secretary in the Ministry of Housing and Water. Andre Ali, currently the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Housing and Water, will be the new PS at the Ministry of Home Affairs. As such, May Toussaint Jr. Thomas, who is the PS at the Home Affairs Ministry, will now be serving as the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Labor. Meanwhile, Adele Diane Trisha Cole Clark is expected to be appointed as the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Legal Affairs, while the former head of regional planning in the State Planning Unit of the Ministry of Finance, Miguel Sean Chukang, should be announced as the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development.
Vice President Dr. JAGDEO announced today that the government is moving ahead with a comprehensive gas strategy as it is interested in finding ways to monetize its gas reserves. Here's what he had to say.
We're moving ahead on the gas strategy, and because that is a promise once we get past the legislation and could actualize the bid round. We will move to the gas strategy. We may very well explore the market. That is for the bigger project, gas monetizing the other gas reserves that we have, not for the Wales power plant, and seeing what interest there is in the market. Because if we await maybe just Exxon moving at its own pace, then it may take, this might not be a priority project for them. And for us, monetizing the gas reserves, probably building a petrochemical industry, maybe LNG, that could yield significant value to Guyana.
The Ministry of Housing and Water is exploring the option of implementing an inline water filter technology, which will give citizens access to drinking water through their taps. Here is Tasia Dickinson again with the details.
We also are looking to employ the inline filter technology, which can help us in other areas filter water, and so that people can have drinking water coming through their taps. So this is another type of technology, and it's cheaper. It's just a filter that we're putting in those areas that can last a very long time. It's not a short-term intervention.
Minister within the Housing and Water Ministry, Susan Rodrigues, during a recent episode of the Guyana Dialogue outlining some of the government's plans to upgrade the water sector. She added that the ministry is also seeking to upgrade and expand its transmission and distribution network so more communities can have access to water.
We also have to spend a massive amount of money upgrading our network, our transmission and distribution network, to bring more water to the treatment plants and also to take more water from the treatment plants, take treated water from the treatment plants to more communities. So a lot of our network has to be extended. And so that's why you have a lot of contracts you will see advertised for the extension of our distribution network to reach more communities, to take treated water to them.
The minister also shared that 90% of people on the coast will receive treated water by 2025. She added that the ministry is working aggressively to ensure that there is 100% access to water in the hinterland also by 2025. According to Rodrigues, there are many hinterland communities that still do not have access to a water source, and they rely on rain harvesting, creeks, or streams. She added that by the end of this year, there should be some 89% water access across the hinterland. Tassia Dickinson, The Evening News.
The Agriculture Ministry, through the New Guyana Marketing Corporation, on Wednesday commissioned a new agro-processing facility in WATOOKA, Linden, Region 10, to provide much-needed services to some 600 persons. Pooja Rambaran tells us more.
The WATOOKA facility was outfitted to satisfy international standards and ensure minimal wastage and spoilage through efficient technology. It is said to have the capacity to operate on a 24-hour basis to produce over 4,300 liters of sauces and seasoning monthly. During the Wednesday commissioning, Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa explained that while farmers are encouraged to produce more, value-added production will enable them to maximize profits and extend the shelf life of their commodities.
So the commissioning of this agro-processing facility at WATOOKA here in Region 10 is a clear indication of the ongoing development in the agriculture sector.
He added that in helping farmers get involved in value-added production, the country is able to move to a higher level as there is not only focus on primary production. Over the last 3 years, approximately 300 new agro-processed products were introduced through collaboration and support from the new GMC. By the end of 2023, some 13 agro-processing facilities will be commissioned and put into operation to assist farmers in rural areas with value-added production. Meanwhile, Mustafa noted that focus is also being placed on increasing production in order to lower Guyana's and the region's food import bill.
We in Guyana are very fortunate because we are producing 60% of the food that we are consuming. But as a government, we are not satisfied that we are producing 60% of the food. We are still importing corn and soya. We are still importing wheat. We are still importing a number of other commodities that we can produce in Guyana.
Pooja Rambaran for the Evening News.
Coming up, 294 million magistrates' courts living quarters open at Vigilance, and Guyana Prison Service Fire Service transactions now possible through MMG. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Did you know that John Lewis Styles carries back-to-school items? Besides clothing and footwear, you can also get lunch bags from $3,500, backpacks from $4,500, and pulley backpacks from $10,995, all for the same price or less than buying online, and it's already here. Also, get a chance to win one RCA tablet every week in August. Enter to win with every $5,000 you spend. That's 4 tablets you can Google homework with. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
SuperBet, your best bet. With many agents countrywide, our products are easily accessible. Visit an agent nearest to you to play your favorite games. Must be 18 years and older. Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly.
Access to quality education for Guyanese countrywide is becoming a reality with the support of monies from the country's oil and gas sector. Some $94.4 billion was allocated this year to support the further development of the education sector. This covers access to textbooks, transportation to school, and hot meals for thousands of students. 30% of the funds used to propel development such as this in Guyana this year is being provided from the country's oil revenues.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. The judiciary yesterday formally launched the Vigilance Magistrates Courts on the east coast of Demerara. The brand new structure also houses fully furnished residential quarters for magistrates, among other modern facilities. Find out more in this Fiona Morrison report.
The entire cost of the building, furnishings, and equipment is $294,724,492. Attorney General and Legal Affairs Minister Anil Nandalal, Senior Counsel, noted in his feature address that this smart court will play an important role in the maintenance of law and order in the East Demerara Magisterial District.
This court, no doubt, will play a very important role in the maintenance of law and order in this part or in this magisterial district. So I am happy, and this court has a heavy workload. So I am happy that we are for the first time having a duplex court that will allow 2 magistrates, and I hope that they will sit simultaneously and for 5 days per week. That will bring great speed to the way litigation is conducted, and that is always welcomed in our system that has been plagued with chronic delays over the years.
Chancellor of the Judiciary, Justice Yonette Cummings Edwards, noted that the Vigilance Magistrates Court is long overdue.
This court is long overdue. The enhancement of the delivery of services in the justice sector is long overdue. But like everything else, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
The new Vigilance Magistrates Courts have 2 courtrooms, magistrates' chambers, lockups for prisoners, a room for victims of domestic abuse, an interview room, a library, accommodation for the clerk of court and the magistrates, and a briefing area for attorneys. As part of government's attempts to strengthen the legal system and enhance its services, 2 brand new magistrates' courts will soon be constructed along the east bank of Demerara in Tamari for $303 million and at Friendship for $388 million. Fiona Morrison, The Evening News.
The Home Affairs Ministry, in collaboration with the Guyana Telephone and Telegraph Company, has today taken a significant step in easing public stress by introducing cashless payments to the Guyana Prison Service and Guyana Fire Service. Pooja Rambaran tells us more.
Through Mobile Money Guyana MMG, Guyanese can now enjoy more time-efficient, convenient means of transactions from the comfort of their homes, offices, or other locations of their choice for services provided by the GPS and GFS. MMG General Manager Babita Ram commended the 2 agencies for their commitment to modernization and efficiency for a more accessible and convenient future for all Guyanese. Payments for these services can now be made either from an individual's MMG account or through MMG's agent network, which spans across the country.
So let's just take a simple example. I need to pay for a petrol license. Instead of traveling to the Guyana Fire Service, and we know how congested traffic can get, I simply log into my MMG account, go to Government Services, choose Guyana Fire Service, choose petrol license, and all of this is just a tap of a finger, and make the payment. And immediately, the personnel at the Guyana Fire Service will see my payment and release my petrol license.
Acknowledging the time taken to usually pay for these services, Home Affairs Minister Robeson Ben noted that this new alternative option is a strategic move to improve the lives of all Guyanese.
We have been moving to improve at the strategic management level, at the level of the government, at the level of putting resources in respect of assets to improve services, improve life and living. And at all aspects, in responses, in awareness, in prevention and all of those issues, we need to spend more quality time on those issues. And if we bring great efficiency in relation to engaging with persons, even if it's at a virtual level, it gives us more time and space to focus quickly and more effectively on issues related to improving the overall quality of life and the quality of service delivered.
Meanwhile, Ram further noted that adding another payment method is a huge step in highlighting the power of collaboration. Recently, the National Assembly passed the Data Protection Bill, which she said will pave the way towards creating the proper legislative framework to support the implementation of e-governance.
We firmly believe that financial technology platforms such as MMG presents multiple advantages in contributing to the government's efforts at reinforcing trust and accountability and modernizing the public sector.
Pooja Rambran for the Evening News.
As the government pushes to curb the high prevalence of crimes in Guyana, a public awareness session on restorative justice was conducted for residents of Region 5, where it was disclosed that persons across the country will be trained specifically to handle relevant cases. Here is Pooja Rambran again with the details.
Earlier this year, Parliament enacted the Restorative Justice Act as a measure to overcome prison overcrowding by reducing pretrial detention, decreasing recidivism rates, and increasing the use of alternative sentencing, among other things. At the Saturday awareness session, Attorney General Anil Nandalal explained this concept further.
This restorative justice allows you to become part of the justice system. So a person is charged in one of the category of offenses to which the Restorative Justice Act can apply, and either through the DPP or the prosecutor or through the lawyer, you indicate to the magistrate that you want restorative justice to take place rather than the formal justice being applied.
This allows for the offender to sit down with persons who are appropriately trained as well as the victim and sort the matter out.
It may involve the offender having to serve some form of penal action, not necessarily confinement in a prison, either having to report to the police at periodic intervals, etc., etc. But whatever it is intended to repair that interpersonal relationship between the victim and the accuser.
Restorative justice allows the lay public, such as community leaders and teachers, to play a central role both in the formal legal system as well as outside of the legal system. The minister pointed out that in the formal legal system, cases will be referred either by the magistrate or the Director of Public Prosecutions to trained restorative justice officers located within each magisterial district. These persons will manage the engagement between the perpetrator and the victim. In the non-formal legal system, teachers, for example, once properly trained, will be able to detect manifestations of problems in children's behavior in schools.
Restorative justice enables you very early to go into that environment and stamp out the issue or reveal it so that actions can be taken. That's where every one of you have a role to play. And that is why training you is important. All of you, all of you who want to be trained, who are leaders, so that you can detect these things.
He, however, clarified that the restorative justice concept is open to a few minor offenses which can be dealt with at the community level and allow for a direct rehabilitative intervention. Therefore, offenses such as murder, manslaughter, rape, and sexual assault are exempted from restorative justice. Pooja Rembrandt for the Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Friday, August 19th at 4:15 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Friday, August 18th at 5 hours 5 for a period of 1.5 hours.
GAW head coach happy with squad and millions being expended on athletics facilities, says Ramson. Details of these stories and more in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Miners, welders, and contractors. Have broken parts caused you tremendous downtime? Do you need an extra heavy-duty, dependable welding machine that will get the toughest jobs done and can also double as a generator to power all of your tools? Well, your #1 industrial solutions provider Sylvies has you covered. We currently have in stock the Hobart Champion Elite Arc Welder and Generator. This capable electric start generator produces up to 11,000 watts of AC power to run tools, work lights, or backup power during an outage. It can simultaneously deliver 150 amps weld output and 8,000 watts of generator power and can run up to 14 hours on one 12-gallon tank of gas. This portable generator handles mild steel, stainless steel, and cast iron with a maximum thickness of ½ inch in a single pass. So what are you waiting for? If you can't make it our 31 High and Hatfield Streets Georgetown location, we can deliver. Give us a call on 227-6226 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 or visit our website sylviesonline.com. Sylvies Industrial Solution, proudly serving Guyana for over 4 decades.
Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe.
Sun or rain? Up or down? No one knows what tomorrow will bring, but with Premier's commercial property insurance, you'll be ready. For all risks insurance, call 223-0840 or visit premierinsurance.gy. Fuel your success. Premier Insurance. Premier insurance coverage.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.